It's almost!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net. Nice one. Straight down the middle.
Hi, you're watching Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get started. On the show today, is Delhi finally being the typical Delhi side at the IPL? This franchise is bringing its A game to the league. But what about the Delhi fans? How Delhi are they? A scuffle broke out in the stadium during the last game against Mumbai. Expect a rowdy affair tomorrow as well. Pakistan Cricket Board has been accused of corruption in the lead-up to the ICC Champions Trophy. New claims made by a Pakistan journalist has come to light. What do the allegations say? And how will this further hurt PCB's image? And looks like FIFA World Cup 2026 is likely to get a Messi boost. His friend and teammate Luis Suarez has hinted of the legendary player making it to the next World Cup. US President Donald Trump will be counting on that. He needs all the star power he can get to make this a successful sporting campaign. But first, a look at the headlines on Sports 360. Starting with cricket, Pakistan beat West Indies in the Women's World Cup qualifier by 65 runs. Sidra Amin's 54 powered the hosts to 191. Fatima Sana picked up 3 wickets in response as West Indies were bundled out for 126. With this win, Pakistan moved to the top of the table with 3 wins in as many matches and 2 left to go. Pakistan are likely to qualify for the 2025 edition of the Women's World Cup in India. In the Indian Premier League, Chennai registered their first win after 5 consecutive losses. The MS Dhoni-led side beat Lucknow by 5 wickets in a close encounter. Put into bat first, Rishabh Pant's 69 helped Lucknow set a target of 167. Captain Dhoni's cameo of 26 guided Chennai home as they reached the target with 3 balls to spare. Dhoni became the oldest to be awarded Player of the Match and for the first time since 2019. India's Cricket Board, BCCI, has directed the umpires to check the bat sizes of players during the games on the field. Players are expected to pass the test by home-shaped bat gouges. The bats shouldn't exceed specified dimensions set by the board. Indian cricketer Shreyas Iyer was named ICC Player of the Month for March. The cricketer was awarded for his Champions Trophy performance where he helped India win the title, scoring 243 runs in the tournament. The cricketer edged out New Zealand's Jacob Duffy and Rachin Ravindra in the race. In news from football, Real Madrid star Luka Modric has become the co-owner of Welsh football club Swansea. The Croat joined the second-tier English side as an investor and part owner. This season of the IPL has not been like most others. 2 of the league's most successful franchises are at the bottom half of the table. Bengaluru is on a roll, Punjab has been punching above its weight, and Delhi has been in the top 3 of the points table. See it to believe it kind of affair so far. Let's speak about Delhi in particular. They've gelled amazingly well as a team and living up to the tagline of what Delhi as a city represents. They are brash, in your face and ruthless. Just catch a Delhiite in a traffic jam and you'll know what I mean. But now the Delhi pride is all paying off because their team is playing like a true champion side. The irony is that they have the most calm heads in that dressing room, guys who exude coolness in the face of pressure and can lead from the front, like Hemang Badani, a coach who's been very yogic-like in his approach, always huddled in a corner, stays away from the limelight and lets the team go about their business. Faf du Plessis, a South Africa captain, Mr. Cool, and someone who doesn't need the captaincy badge to lead a side really. KL Rahul, quiet and a very mellow figure, but donning the Delhi jersey has made him quite the fiery Delhi boy. His match-winning knock against Bengaluru in the city would stand the test of time, especially for how he celebrated the win. And then, of course, the skipper, newest IPL captain, who doesn't seem to be putting a foot wrong. He's all smiles, he's serious when he has to be, but keeps his jokes and humor definitely as his go-to game, and that helps. But it is this calm bunch that is shepherding a raging, rowdy performance on the field. And maybe that small run-in between Karun Nair and Mumbai's Jasprit Bumrah was a sneak peek to Delhi saying there are no pushovers. And seeing a strong Delhi outfit that remained unbeaten till Sunday is what Delhi fans are puffing their chests out about and taking great pride in. A Delhi IPL franchise that's finally very Delhi-like. So much so that a brawl broke out among fans in the stands during the game over the weekend. Delhi versus Mumbai is anyway the biggest and oldest cricket rivalry. This goes beyond the cricket field and the boundary ropes. It's a fight to decide supremacy when it comes to being a cricket powerhouse. Which state and city produces the biggest talents and can really stamp their authority on the sport itself. So needless to say, fans got into it and the match was just as intense too. But when Delhi throngs the stadium to watch their team take on a struggling Rajasthan, that'll be at home as well tomorrow, they'll want to let the cricketers do all the show and tell. Let the intensity be confined to the ground alone. You thought the Champions Trophy was done and dusted. India beat New Zealand. The final took place in the UAE, despite Pakistan being the primary host. And with that, an event that was supposed to get all the attention to Pakistan as ICC hosts again after such a long gap, did only just the opposite. But what it definitely managed to do was raise many questions over Pakistan's hosting abilities. In fact, how there are more reports coming out owing to some investigations on the level of mismanagement that Pakistan indulged in while getting their country ready for a mega event. Of course, trouble began as soon as ICC granted the Champions Trophy rights to Pakistan, because with every passing day, the focus kept shifting back to what PCB was doing to tackle it all. First, of course, the feud with India over a hybrid Champions Trophy setup. Then the delayed completion of stadium renovations, which upset the ICC and put the broadcasters in a bit of a limbo. It only went worse when the tournament actually began. Lack of crowd turnout, even for the home side's matches, was a bit of a despair. Improper facilities, leading to washouts of some of the key matches, and the home side crashing out in the group stages. All of it pointing to a bit of a disaster Pakistan cricket went on to experience. And the latest, of course, is claims of negligence from the management's end during the preparations of the Champions Trophy. A local journalist has come out on national television making accusations against the PCB and authorities involved.
I learned something very strange yesterday. Fertilizers were needed for maintenance of Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium, so budget and expenses for it was sent to the PCB. But it just stayed hidden in some file. The curator sold his personal motorbike to arrange fertilizers for the stadium.
If a curator is selling his personal belongings for an ICC tournament, then what is the Pakistan board that's actually supposed to take care of all the funding really doing? Sure, the Champions Trophy didn't turn out to be exactly how Pakistan expected it to. Fans, of course, not showing up really didn't help. The home side getting knocked out in the group stage only meant the tournament lost its charm. Despite all of this, Pakistan Cricket Board came out claiming that hosting the Champions Trophy actually made them earn around 10 million US dollars, exceeding its target of 5 million US dollars. So clearly in PCB's eyes, there were no budget overruns. Then why was the curator not given proper funding for a task as small yet important as maintaining the pitches? All this, of course, shows is how invested the curators and other members were in bringing an ICC event back to their country and making it work, more than their own cricket board apparently. Before the tournament began, PCB chief Mohsin Naqvi had said that this wasn't just a cricket event. It was going to be a chance for the world to see Pakistan hosting a marquee tournament, showcasing their country. The latest incident surely isn't the kind of publicity the board really needs, and that too now. And this case of carelessness isn't an isolated one. It seems to be a regular practice in the country's cricketing structure.
The budget received by PCB for the Champions Trophy 2025, there was no proper paperwork done on it. They just put their work on each other. No work is being done for the management of pitches for domestic matches.
This reflects a vacuum that players seem to be functioning in, trying to win matches when they just don't have the backing and a proper plan in place. If the domestic structure is in shambles, if the players aren't groomed for international matches, then how will they perform when it comes to the big stage, the big moments? It is just like how they treated their first ever Olympic individual gold medalist, javelin thrower Arshad Nadeem. He wasn't provided proper gears or funding before the Paris Games. When he won the gold, the country made a beeline to him to award and reward him. Maybe the cricket board is no different. They expect their side to do wonders, but when it comes to actually backing their local talents, their players, they aren't keen on doing that, and there is no vision whatsoever in that. But the question is, if the ground level work isn't there, how do they even expect the new faces to take charge? And it is once again PCB chief Naqvi who's coming under the scanner. Has some serious questions to answer, especially now when at this juncture he's taken up the additional responsibilities as the ACC chief, Asian Cricket Council. That's massive. For long, the PCB has pointed fingers at their players for all the doom and gloom that has hung over Pakistan cricket for the last 2 years now. They've blamed coaches and the management for their lackluster show, series after series, tournament after tournament. But if the board itself is flawed, the system in tatters, then how will the cricket and the cricketers prosper? America is gearing up to enter another sporting venture, football, or what they call soccer. Sure, the sport isn't new in the country. In fact, they have a dominant women's team, one of the best in the world. But just like their geopolitical mindset, they would want to be best here too. A major step towards that, of course, is co-hosting a successful men's FIFA World Cup that's scheduled to take place next year, along with Mexico and Canada. And while the tariff war and tensions between the three countries is already threatening the World Cup, the bigger question here is, that's bothering all the organizers at this point, is whether the biggest face of the sport in the country, Lionel Messi, will come out to defend Argentina's title, or will he hang up his boots and retire from the sport? Because without the former Barcelona star, the tournament might turn out to be a bit of a drab affair. Now, hear me out here. Messi's participation at the football spectacle is critical for America. And the reason why I say this is because it is the Argentina captain who has been solely responsible for reviving this sport in the nation. Ever since Messi joined the Major League Soccer, or the MLS, in 2023, the sport has seen a huge boost. A country where the love for sports is divided, and equally so between basketball, American football, baseball, and ice hockey. The beauty of football also is now being embraced, which is the reason why whenever Messi plays for Inter Miami, he rewrites record books, at least in terms of the crowd turnout. Inter Miami have participated in some of the highest attended games in MLS history. And get this, these aren't for Inter Miami's home matches, but for the away fixtures. The opposition fans come out in massive numbers to just watch Messi take field. Just recently, Inter Miami played Chicago Fire. A record 62,358 away fans turned up for that game, most in the club's history. Last year, during the Atlanta United fixture, close to 69,000 fans watched the game live. And Messi Magic took over the NFL City too against the Sporting Kansas City. 72,610 fans showed up, which was a record for the highest attendance for that season. Such has been Messi's impact on football in America. But these numbers, unfortunately, don't really translate to displaying the popularity of the sport overall in the country. Because while people are showing up to watch Messi and Inter Miami during the MLS, they refrain from watching their own national side play. Now, these visuals are from America's CONCACAF Nations League matches against Panama and Canada in California at the Sophie Stadium, which has a capacity of 70,000 fans. But that's not what it looked like there. And this is when the World Cup is just a little over a year away. This is a regular occurrence for USA men's team matches, empty stadiums. During their friendly games last year, half of the stadiums were empty, even when US played their biggest rivals, Canada. Sure, the Messi mania has lit up MLS, but the same hasn't been seen at the international circuit yet, which makes Messi's participation at the FIFA World Cup next year even more crucial. But will the Argentine come out for one last time in blue and white? His teammate, Luis Suarez, has given some hope to that effect.
Retirement? Lionel Messi has the desire to play at the World Cup 2026 with Argentina. We're not discussing retirement as a plan to activate anytime soon.
A major statement for not just Messi fans, but also a relief for America. And what this means is that it won't just be Messi donning the La Albi Celeste. It might also push another superstar, Cristiano Ronaldo, to give this World Cup a shot. Fans believe that this footballer wants to always stay at the top, especially when it comes to the Messi versus Ronaldo debate. And if Messi is playing, rest assured Ronaldo would at least give one more shot at the only silverware missing from his cabinet. A win-win for Donald Trump's first global sporting assignment as the President of the United States of America. The tournament is already under scanner, and it isn't just because of lack of turnout for international fixtures. The tariff war Trump is waging is bound to have its repercussions. The other two hosts are already peeved, so America needs a win here, and that might become a possibility if the sport's biggest superstars feature in the event. Time for last serve. USA's Vice President J.D. Vance had a faux pas at the White House when US President Donald Trump invited NCAA champions football side Ohio State University for a visit. His deputy ended up dropping the trophy. Awkward times 100, but that wraps it up here on Firstpost. I'll of course see you again tomorrow. Till then, take care.
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
No, I love India.
Presence, occupation,
of a territory by another country pertains to India, what we saw in Kashmir.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Bluntly, Iran, maybe Russia too.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.